What if I told you you're actually more powerful? You can create more lag, more club head speed than you ever realized you could. Let me give you an example of how powerful you could feel in the golf swing. Now, if I told you to set up this golf ball and swing this club like an axe, and you're just gonna take it over your shoulder and you're gonna swing this club down and you're just gonna snap the club off right into the ground, I bet you'd feel pretty daggone powerful. I also bet you would have tons of lag. I wouldn't see anybody that swung an axe that went like this and casted it and then slammed down. It would never happen, right? You know how to get that angle of lag. You know how to get that leverage and make that club really release. It wouldn't take hardly any power at all, and you could easily just snap that club shaft off in the ground. If you don't believe me, grab a club right now and don't swing it that way, because you will break the club and you probably will hurt yourself if you do that. But that's the kind of power, the power that you could tap into. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to get that same feeling, to have tons of lag, to feel as powerful as you did there, but we're going to have that nice tight draw for it to be really solid. And without very much strength or size, you're going to be out driving your playing partners. Let's go and get started. All right, so let's roll with this axe analogy, because it really is much more similar to a golf swing than we think. Now, if you were to do that and you were to swing down on this club, that's kind of how everybody really starts playing golf, because it does feel pretty powerful. So if I start playing golf, I start over the top, I'm swinging down like an axe way across it, and that ball starts to slice way off to the right. And even though we feel like we're swinging hard, that ball is just not giving us very good feedback. It's not going where we want it to go. Well, that same analogy isn't too bad. We just have it in the wrong direction. We need to change that swing direction from chopping across the ball to being much more from the inside. Here's what I want you to do to feel this. I want you to set up this golf ball, and if my feet were kind of toward my target, I want you to swing. Instead of down my feet, I want you to swing actually 45 degrees to the right. So if you were to take that same axe, I want you to swing down this way. So the butt end of the club would be facing toward the golf ball. And if you were to let go of this club, it would slam into the ground looking something like that. So I'm basically swinging directly over top of these houses here, just 45 degrees out to the right. Now, it would probably feel pretty powerful, a little awkward because you're well from the inside, but I bet you feel like, again, you could slam this club down in the ground with a lot of speed and a lot of power, and you wouldn't have to be that strong to do that. The obvious question is, all right, Clay, I guess that's kind of neat, but I'm gonna hit it a mile to the right. How is this applicable to my golf game? Well, you're only missing one piece there. As soon as I start to open my body, that gets that club back on plane. So if I swing and I'm just gonna slam this club in the ground, what happens when I start to open my body up? Now all of a sudden I look like a tour player, right? My hips are open, my body's leading the way, the club's coming from the inside, all this good stuff is happening that I've always wanted to happen in my swing, and it looks just like what you'd see with a tour player. So go ahead, I'll have this same feeling here that I just described to you, swinging 45 degrees to the right, and then just letting my body open up. Let's go ahead and try that out and see what it looks like. There we go, hammered that one. Right down the middle of the fairway. I felt like I had a lot of club head speed, and I didn't feel like I had to put out that much effort. It felt very powerful, like I was chopping with that axe. Now, one of the reasons that this works to get that effortless club head speed is that when the club comes from the inside like this, if I keep everything moving back into the left, and you'll hear Ben Hogan talked about this a lot, moving the hands back up and in to the left. So my hands and my body are moving this way. I'm opening everything up and all my momentum is going that way. Well, that can only work if I'm from the inside already. I'm letting that club from the inside. As I turn back into the left, that flings the club out toward the golf ball, and it creates a lot of momentum there. So you really don't feel like you have to swing out to the right. That club's momentum is going to happen that way whenever you just open up the body. Now the second piece of this would be this club face. So we got this club swinging from the inside. We have the momentum wanting to kick out, create a lot of club head speed. But what happens if that club face isn't releasing quite like we want it to? Well, I have a great trick to get you to release it and to get you to square that club face up, just like you're seeing the top pros like Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson doing. And I have a drill that teaches you this, makes it really easy, called the tennis racket drill. I'm gonna play a preview of that here in a second, and I'm gonna show this little wrist trick that you can do to get that face squared up so you feel like now when you rotate, no matter how hard you rotate to the left, that club's gonna kick out, the face is gonna square up, and you're gonna have that nice tight draw. So when this preview pops up in a second, all you need to do is go ahead and click up the card that pops up on the screen, And no worries if you don't see that card, all you need to do is go down to the description and click the link there. Best of luck. I can't wait to share this tennis racket drill with you. Once you do this, everything's gonna start timing up. Everything's gonna feel like it's completely in sync. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good player problems. We're gonna talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be rotating